Morning, yo! Right, from now leading up to Christmas and after Christmas, I'm going to do as many swing fixes. I got a swing for you today. All these swings are coming through my Instagram account at Crossfield Mark, so you can send me a direct message off there. The reason I use that is A, my Instagram's quite good fun, so go and check it out, and B, I can actually pull them down off there. It allows me to save the videos. You have to send them as a message on Instagram. Right, we're going to deal with this swing today. He complains about not striking the ball as well as he can. I want you to post in the comments down below, is this what we would call casting? Does that look like what people would describe as casting? I think, well, let me know what you think in that comment section down below. I'll talk to you about what I see in this action and why we see a movement that lots of you might have, if you did put a comment down there at that time, say maybe this is casting and why it happens. Should be a fun day. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to Torquay and we're going to see if we can make Dan swing this way without him knowing what I'm doing. So I'm going to give him some ideas, so almost like reverse coach if you like. So I'm going to move him back into making this guy's movements. Let's show you what I mean. Dan. Hello. How are you eating a Cadbury's cream egg? Like celebrations thing?
Well, we're celebrating. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
One, did I?
Would you want one?
No, I wouldn't want one now, even if you offered one. What we got? So I'm going to try and make you swing in a certain way, Dan.
Good way?
In a way that might function if I put some kinks in.
Okay.
So here's the test. Get ready to hit a normal shot.
Yeah.
Are you in the hitting area? Make sure you're in the hitting area for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I want you to go no knuckles on your left hand. So I want you to go...
So I can't see a knuckle. So bring it round.
Yeah, so really weaken that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Wow.
little bit more. Obviously keeping the face pointing at your intended start line.
Mm-hmm.
And then get the right hand weak as well. So really over on the club.
Yeah, like there.
Yeah. Now I want you to start with the handle back. Not that far, a little less than that yet, but I want the face still to point in its intended start line.
Okay.
So the brief is I want you to hit target with that.
Oh, right.
Do you want to do practicing first?
Yeah. You don't mind how it gets to target?
No, I just want to see how you work it out. That's leaking right, you need to work harder. Not a bad effort though, but it's definitely leaking right. I want you to try and get next to no curvature as well.
Oh, right, okay.
That was a good effort. What's the delivery on that? So first one you were out to in, the second one you were in to out. The first one you didn't control the face.
Yeah.
So it was 8 open to the path. 32 degrees of loft to 29. You would normally with that 7-iron be presenting like 25, 26.
26,
so
20,
you're adding loft.
Yeah.
So what did you do in your mind on the second one when I said I didn't want curvature? So the first one you chose to use curvature, did you?
Yeah, so I just accepted that the face was going to be open a lot
To a path.
So I tried to swing left to accept that I was going to hit a fade, trying to fade it into the target. Then you said try and bring your curvature down, so don't fade it, try and hit it straight. So I've just changed my path completely, so I'm now trying to work it almost in to out more.
But I've got
to really get that club face to really start to move, so I'm really rotating the club face on the way through.
Ah, that's interesting. When you say rotate the face, what do you mean, which way?
I'm trying to do this.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So let me show you the swing then. So we're close to getting you, but you've worked it out in a different way. So you've now seen the swing.
Yeah.
And I want to follow through to slightly change.
Yeah.
Dan has worked out to control the face that he wants to put what we'd call kind of gamma rotation, so around the shaft to try and take loft down and control face. I'm going to ask him not to do it and control it in a different way. So you're now not allowed to feel that roll, but you've got to get that ball going straight with no curvature.
Okay.
So what are you feeling you're going to do there?
I'm trying to get that club face as square as I can somehow, and I just think if I can just chuck it this way.
Yeah.
And down,
well, it will,
down
wouldn't it?
square,
Yeah.
but my handle's obviously going to sit way back to cope with that.
Yeah. So the last one felt good for direction.
Yeah, I felt like I had that more on the line of where I was trying to go with it.
So the brief now was that you've got a weak grip
Yeah.
You had the handle slightly back, that also weakens the grip even more if you think it through.
Yeah.
And then also you weren't allowed to use what you were feeling was this rotation to control the face. So if the face is going to be delivered there, you were trying to rotate it back.
Yeah.
I said you had to deliver it more that way to try and get the face in some way relating to your path. Last swing, club path 0. 1.9 open, so that's not going to have a massive effect with that loft, but now we're up to 35 degrees of delivered loft. And we've gone from 8 down, 6, 1, 3 and down into 1 down. So you're losing how much down you go in it.
Yeah.
You're adding loads of loft.
Yes.
So you're probably changing low point as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So the movements this player makes, which everyone or lots of people will see, I've seen comments already because I posted it on social because I like to try and get my audience thinking and kind of hoping that they're allowed to know that they might not have the right idea all the time. There's lots of talk around casting and chucking it.
Yeah.
But when the brief is what it was, to get yourself functional, like Dan did, he makes a similar action. So he's starting to get this kind of high finish that we see, where the first one with Dan, he was trying to actually use the club in a different way. It came around his body more. There's something else this player does. He stands quite narrow and quite upright. So I want you to hit one more, and I want you to tell me if trying to do the second brief that we've got, so you've got to get the club face controlling to a path by flipping it forwards, and using the same grip handle back, do you think it's easier from here, or we'll go what people would call incorrect the other way? Do you think it would be easier from too low and a bit further away? Have a go. So narrow feet and stood close.
Yeah.
Bear in mind you've got to flick it forward. What are you thinking from there compared
To where I'd be here.
Yeah, further away with your hands lower.
To go this way?
Yeah.
No, not gonna. No, in here's better.
Of course it is. Has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. In here, I can just stay back on it almost and get that thing to. Yeah.
Well, you can raise the handle up as well, which will
Yeah.
help you flip it forwards.
Absolutely right.
Because think about it, if you get further back and lower, that's going to add something. The lie now is changing where the face wants to point. So what happens now is the lie will counteract what you do with your flick.
Yes.
That is a tough game from right there.
Well, it's interesting you say that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you learnt golf from there, if the world of golf told you to have a weak grip. Now, before we just deliver some ideas of what he could do to change this, we can't really see if his grip is weak or not. I want you to check that. If you're the person in this video, I want you to check that for yourself and then use that, the gripping information that we'll give you in a second. Or it looks like it might just be wrist angles. It's hard to tell which is causing the club face to want to be open to the path all the time. But if you were taught that you have to hit with a face that feels like it needs to be open to a path as it swings around your body, you would have a funny looking swing the other way because you worked out that way. But if then they said, oh, we don't want any of this, you have to do it the way I've said, you would end up there. And this is where I struggle with lots that I see going on in the world. And certainly if you look at the comments, maybe I'll put links to the tweet and the Instagram that I put out, where people will see the casting as a problem. The casting is actually helping. It has to be there.
Saving the face.
Correct, because if we do his action and don't have that flip forward in there from up here, you see where that goes?
That's gone
That's
right.
no saving.
Yeah.
That's zero matchups. That's his relationship of loft and face the path with my idea of path, angle of attacks, what direction I feel like I'm swinging on. He's matching everything up. So first thing he needs to do, grip. How many knuckles are you seeing on your left hand? I want you to see 3. If you're only seeing 1, let's get 2 more. I'd rather you go slightly stronger than weaker. Right hand. How far over or not is it? Let's get first finger thumb, any of this kind of V shape, going more up towards right shoulder. Don't get it too far over. That's first port of call. If that isn't the case, you look at your grip and think, actually I grip it all right. I can do the most neutral grip in the world, but use my wrist angles this way.
Yeah.
And this position with his club face is where he gets on last parallel as he comes in to hit the ball. there's no way I'm going to hit that on target if I don't either recover that, like you tried to, by putting loads of that turn in, or do the second brief I gave you, which is that. You need to take that away to have any ideas of wanting to take what people are seeing, which is the stand out movement, which is the casting movement. It's all that player's ideas and lack of understanding of dynamic loft, the loft they deliver at impact. I'll show you a couple of drills I use with players like this.
Yep. Let's see it.
So first thing I would do is with his setup, I would say you're a bit narrow and you're a bit too close. Give yourself a bit more room and give yourself a little bit more of a width of stance, okay? But if that became a fight, so if I said it 5 times and then he still didn't do it, I would make him do it by changing the wrist angles, because if you get the wrist angles working better, he won't want to stand where he's standing. He'll feel like he can't hit it. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
So if he perseveres and keeps moving away and I don't have to keep reminding him over about my tolerance is about 5 to 10 shots before I then think I'm going to make them stand differently now.
Yeah.
So I would get him to stand a fraction further away, fraction wider. I would set him up, normal grip, so let's pretend he's got neutral grip now, but I would turn the face 20 degrees left of, if we say a straight line is a right angle off that face. So take the loft off and point the face left, but keeping the grip neutral.
Yep.
Take one of your little tees, tell him you can't hit the ball left of that.
Okay.
So think about how I have to hit this now. The opposite to the way he wants to. Can he manage that? Keep going down the right. So it'll spin out in a second. So it's gone to the right, didn't hit it left of the intended T marker I put out there. So look what's happening to the loft. 27 compared to mid-high 30s when you're trying to do 32, 35, 33s. Yeah. There's the last one I did no recovery, which was 43 degrees of loft. Yeah. So stole the loft from him.
Quite impressive you managed to get it that far right, considering the face was what, 20 degrees shut at address?
Yeah, well it's because of the management of the dynamic loft.
Yeah.
Which is basically managing this with this.
Yeah.
And that's coming from wrist angles, and then if I choose to feel like I'm leading with the handle, or feel like I'm leading with the head.
Would you, in this situation, would you get them to do some small pitch shots to start with and then sort of build up to fuller swings?
I wouldn't. I would start brutal
Yeah.
and then work back.
Okay.
Because I'm a little bit of a, I don't know if you've guessed this in me, Dan, but I'm a little bit of a showman.
Really?
So what I mean by that is if I can switch them in like 2 or 3 swings, you've got them.
Yeah.
It's like a show. You've hooked them. It's like having the chorus right in there at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah? Beatles, Help, starts, bang, straight in with the chorus. There's no build up. Help! I need somebody! It just starts with the chorus. It whacks you in the face and you like, oh, wow, what's this?
Bang.
So I like to start with the chorus. Not always, because everyone's different, but generally. Because as soon as you've hooked them, you've got them, and they do something that's so crazy that works.
Yeah.
They're
Something
like,
they've
well, whatever
never
this
seen
guy
before.
says now, I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than in lessons where you try and get people to do something and you can see that they're so reluctant to let go, to give it a go. So that's the best drill I use with people to give the feeling of this. But then I don't like to hang around drills too much as well, because I want them to be able to, you can't play golf like that.
No.
I want them to be able to go out and play. Okay. So I would really, once we've got the grip in a position that we're both happy with, I would really start working those wrist angles. So I would want them, and I do it with Fanula. So I've done this in the garden with Fanula, no ball. Show me a wrist angle that makes the ball go left. If we do that with her now, she'll go like that.
Yeah.
And then I say, show me a wrist angle that might make the ball go curve or go right. She'll go like that.
Yeah.
And then I say, what's going to happen if you're halfway between those two? And she'll go relatively straight. So I'm arming her with the fixes. Yeah. And this student, you would want to do the same. Arm them to know where the feeling is too much and then too little, which they're already doing, and then let them find the middle ground. Because it's that self-discovery that makes them hold on to it so much more, like it retains, rather than having to rely on me to give them this like perfect position each time. Let me know if this makes sense or not. Basically, I believe as a coach, and I love doing this with players and for myself to learn how different people react and work things out. Again, it goes back to the points I've been making for a while. It's matchups. It's how people work it out. It's what information they're given or not as well as they're working it out. For me, when I see a movement in a swing, like the idea of that club throwing away, which we would refer to as casting, I don't think I need to fix the casting. I think, I wonder why they need to feel they need to move that way. What's making that happen? They're not just unable to use their wrist. 9 times out of 10, or 9.9 times out of 10, people are reacting. Those castings or lag ideas, which are so misconstrued, I think, in the golf world, they're a reaction. They're a product of. And if you attack them as a thing on its own, you get great search terms, you get good views, you know, you are all searching for it. But you saw how destructive my shot was when I used his matchups with my ideas of wrist angles and casting or not on the way down. High right shot going nowhere. People want to find target. People want to play golf. It's finding the matchups that work for them that help them improve. Post comments down below every day. Get on my Instagram, as always, at Crossfield Mark on Instagram is how you find me. I'm doing swings all over Christmas as much as I can. Obviously, I won't be filming every time over Christmas, but over Christmas and also leading up to it afterwards. Get involved. Let me know if this helps. Thanks for watching.